Welcome to Film Riot. Today I'm talking about this guy, the new Rode VideoMic Pro Plus. Rode just sent it to me up front. I'll say no, I'm not making any money off this whatsoever. They have nothing to do with this episode. They did randomly send this to me. I didn't even know it was coming, and they didn't ask for an episode or anything like that. But as I was looking at it, I was really excited about all the upgrades, so I wanted to show you guys a little bit about them. All the Rode VideoMics have been pretty great. We've talked about them a lot on the show before. I just love how you could just throw them on any camera and increase the quality of your in-camera audio that much. If you're shooting on any kind of DSLR type camera or a camera like the A7S, they're an absolute must when using something like a DSLR and wanting to get in-camera audio in that way. But I've also used them on an Alexa or a Red when trying to get scratch audio while recording the main audio separately. And in the end, with one or two projects, it actually turned out that they kind of saved my butt because there were some issues with the external audio in one part, and I did have that other audio to fall back on. So I was able to use the production sound instead of having to do ADR. So that was great, and no one ever could tell, which is a pretty big testament to those microphones. But this, again, is a pretty big improvement to all of those. First of all, in the back, you'll see that it's totally different. You have these LED readouts and buttons instead of the switches, which I think looks a lot nicer. Of course, you have the high pass filter at 150 and 75. You have the output level at -10 and +20. You have a high frequency shelf here. But one of the functions that I think is the coolest is right here in the center. Once you turn that on, your left channel is going to be recording normally, and your right channel is going to be your safe channel at -10. So if you have any peaks that might distort, this is going to save your butt. So you have that safe channel option now, which I think is really awesome. The cable, as you see, is no longer built in. It does come with one, but now you can use any cable you want without having to just do an extender. So you can do an XLR into this if you want. You can do a much longer cable if you want. So that's really nice to have. Plus, I'm always worried that the cable is going to break on me and then I'm going to have to send it in to get fixed. So it's nice to have it like this. So if there is ever any problem with the cable, you just replace it. Then one of the biggest upgrades for me is probably the battery situation, which has been my biggest complaint on all the other mics. The battery door, the batteries themselves have been such a pain, although the battery life on all of them is amazing. You're talking about like 75 hours off of one battery, and now you have this rechargeable battery, and the battery life on this is amazing as well. Even when the indicator goes red to let you know that the battery is getting low, you still have 10 hours worth of time on that thing. But it's amazing to have this included rechargeable battery, which you recharge just by connecting the USB to it with it in there. The USB is great as well because you can do constant power to this mic now just by connecting it through maybe a USB charger or something of the like. But on top of this rechargeable battery, it now takes AA's instead of 9-volt, which is amazing because we all have a billion AA's on set. So if this rechargeable battery ever dies on you, you can just resort to some AA batteries and you're good to go. And on top of that, which is totally not nitpicky, this is a huge thing, it's the battery door. The battery door on all the other mics have been so frustrating for me, but this guy is so simple. It just pops right open, and that is so fantastic because the other ones I'm wondering if I'm doing it wrong, if I'm going to break the door by trying to muscle it out. This comes on and off so easily and so beautifully. It makes me very, very happy. And then finally, the other coolest thing about this microphone is the auto power on and off. So once you have it connected to your camera, like I have here with my A7S II, once you have it all connected up and ready to go with the mic off, once you turn your camera on, that's going to initiate your mic to turn on as well. Then once you turn it off, it's also going to turn off your mic. So no more forgetting to turn it on or turn it off, which I have done so many times, and it has really bit me because then I had to take the internal microphone and then try to denoise the crap out of the camera sounds and all the other badness to try to make it work. So this is such a huge addition to me. So with the battery and the auto power alone, it makes this mic so very worth it. And then having the cable being something that gets attached, not that's attached all the time, makes this something very easily usable on the end of a boom pole, and then adding whatever cable that you need to it to use as a standard shotgun microphone as well. So this is probably one of the most versatile mics that I can think of. Again, not paid to say this. I don't have any requirements to talk about this whatsoever. I'm just really excited about this mic and the quality that you can pull out of it. Of course, if you want more info on it, we have a couple of links in the notes for you below.
There's nothing more discouraging than having a pile of overdue paperwork just sitting there staring at you while you try to work or do anything you enjoy at all. Well, our friends at FreshBooks have their cloud accounting software that will give you time to do the work that you love and not feel discouraged by the paperwork demon. FreshBooks has been designed from the ground up and custom built for the way that you work. It's the easiest way to be more productive, organized, and most importantly, get paid quickly. The all-new FreshBooks is not only ridiculously easy to use, it's also packed full of powerful features. You can create and send professional-looking invoices in less than 30 seconds, set up online payments with just a couple of clicks, and get paid up to 4 days faster. See when your client has seen your invoice and put an end to the guessing games. FreshBooks is offering a 30-day unrestricted free trial to film writers. To claim it, just go to freshbooks.com/filmwrite, enter FilmWrite in the How Did You Hear About Us section.
Logo. So that's it for today, which means it's time to talk about what I'm watching. Recently, I was able to see Close Encounters of the Third Kind on the big screen. They did a special event where I was able to see it in Dolby. First time I was ever able to see it on the big screen, but something that it reminded me of was just how incredible Spielberg is at blocking his scenes and how his films are, in my opinion, the best to turn the sound off and really just watch how he's visually laying out the story in these moments, how the characters are moving through the scene, how he puts motion into the scene to energize the frame, and to move you through this scene without you ever really realizing what he's doing. You never really fully, for me at least, feel his hand on it. It's just everything unfolding in such an organic and fluid way, but he's doing so much. And people talk about wonders all the time now, and it's a big thing, and people are constantly trying to do it, but doing it as gimmicks. Back in the day, Spielberg was doing them already, these really, really long takes, but not for a gimmick, because that was the best way to tell this moment, and the camera would move through the scene with this moving master that would move between different forms of coverage. So it's definitely worth your time to grab some Spielberg films like Close Encounters of the Third Kind, shut the sound off, and really just watch what he's doing visually. It's another way of getting your own little masterclass, free film school to learn from and take to how you do your own work. But that's it for today. Till next time, don't forget to write, shoot, edit, repeat.